everyone, I know I haven't made a video in quite a long time, and if you keep up with me on my main channel or my Dailyboother, you know exactly why. So I'm not going to explain it, just go ahead and check it out and you'll know why. But anyway, the subject of this video is going to be Satanism. Because a few years ago I was asked to make a video about LaVeyan Satanism and I never did, so I'm making it now. I know I'm a few years too late, but whatever. Better late than never. And I know a lot of people are probably going to tell me that I'm either stupid, going to hell, or I'm a devil worshipper, or Satan worshipper, or whatever, or I'm crazy, or something. But, you know what? You are ignorant. You are fucking ignorant. Just completely oblivious and lazy. Like, you won't even do any research to actually find out what exactly this is. And the air conditioner just turned on. It's like right there. So I'm sorry if that's too loud, but I'll talk louder so you guys can hear me. But anyways, a lot of people say don't judge a book by their cover, or by its cover, or whatever. But then, as soon as you say the Satanic Bible, people are all like, ah, burn it, destroy it, get rid of it, devil worshipper, evil. No, you idiots. Be open-minded. Just because it says the Satanic Bible does not mean that it's about worshiping Satan. It's actually not about that at all. It's mostly, it's like worshiping yourself, pretty much. I mean, it's like self-worship because you're respecting yourself, being good to yourself, doing good things for yourself. It's pretty much just yourself, you know, focusing on your own happiness and making your life the way that you want it to be. A lot of people don't get that though, which is just unfortunate because so many people's eyes could be opened up to this amazing book and maybe they would think differently, or at least they would have those thoughts in their head of something different aside from whatever they're thinking now, which is most likely ignorant. But anyways, like a good example is one of my family members, and I'm not going to say who, but one of my family members claims to be a all good and loving, amazing, devoted Christian or whatever, and she doesn't judge people or, you know, whatever. And then as soon as I pull this out in front of her, she's like, oh, I don't like that crap. I'm not even going to read that, you know. But what? That's being judgmental. You can't say I'm not judgmental and then say something that is judgmental. Like, what? You're contradicting yourself. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and read a few things in here just to give you guys an idea of what it's about exactly. And I'm not gonna read a whole lot, but I actually went through here a while back and highlighted with a red pencil some of my favorite parts, or just parts that seemed most interesting or something that related to me. First of all, let's see. Okay, here's something good. I'm sorry if I run out of breath. My lungs are crap. You cannot love everyone. It is ridiculous to think you can. If you love everyone and everything, you lose your natural powers of selection and wind up being a pretty poor judge of character and quality. If anything is used too freely, it loses its true meaning. Therefore, the Satanist believes you should love strongly and completely those who deserve your love, but never turn the other cheek to your enemy. So, it's basically like those people. A lot of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Those people that just get into a relationship like that and 2 days later they're like, I love you so much. I don't think you love that person. Like, if you've only known them for 2 days or something, I don't know. I just think that's kind of silly if you barely know them. By learning to release your hatred towards those who deserve it, you cleanse yourself of these malignant emotions and need not take your pent-up hatred out on your loved ones. which this applies to me so much. Over the past few years, actually most of my teenage years, I was brought up to be nice to everybody, no matter what. Like, if somebody kicked me in the face and said I was ugly or something, I would just smile at them and say something nice and walk away, or something like that, which is fucking stupid, okay? No, you're a doormat if you do that. Like, they're just gonna think, oh, well, this person doesn't do anything, I can keep walking all over them, and, you know, you don't want to make yourself a doormat. That's just not good. But this really applies to me because I had a problem for a while with hurting people that I cared about, and I couldn't understand why I was doing it. I mean, I loved those people, but I would hurt them. So, anyway, let's see, what else is there? I know there's a lot of things in here that I highlighted, but for some reason I can't find anything. Okay, here's something really good. Death in most religions is touted, not sure how to say that, as a great spiritual awakening, one which is prepared for throughout life. This concept is very appealing to one who has not had a satisfactory life. But to those who have experienced all the joys life has to offer, there is great dread attached to dying. This is as it should be. It is this lust for life which will allow the vital person to live on after the inevitable death of his fleshly shell. Pretty much people will think, okay, it's no big deal to kill myself, or, you know, give up now, and it's kind of like the whole, it's my time to die, just let me die. But that's, I don't know, that seems kind of not right, because most of the time whenever somebody says that, it's because they're religious and they think, oh, well, I'm gonna die and go to the afterlife and meet with my friends and family there anyway. But what if there is no afterlife? What if we die and there's nothing? Absolutely nothing. No thoughts, no feelings, nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Then you just gave up on your friends and family, and now they're still alive without you and sad because you gave up. That's awful. Oh, I really, really like this one too. I say a lot. I apologize. The Satanist feels, why not really be honest? And if you are going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? That's pretty much what I was just talking about in the beginning of my video, about pretty much like self-worship and self-respect and just doing things to make yourself happy. It's like you are your own God, so you don't have to live by the rules of a God in the sky that might not even be there. Because honestly, how many people do you think there are that really want to do something? Something that they really would thoroughly enjoy doing, something that would make them happy. But they won't do it because it's against God. It's like against his rules or something. So they live their entire life never doing that thing, just because some possibility of something telling them not to do it. What if that thing doesn't exist? What if there is no God and you're living your life for something that isn't there? So you pretty much just lost an opportunity to do something, and now you're dead, so you can't do it. I think that, personally, I think that we should live for ourselves and people and animals that we love. Like, we shouldn't have to feel restricted, like in Christianity. I remember when I was a Christian, oh yeah, I was a Christian, big shocker there. I used to go to church every Sunday, Saturday, and Wednesday. Yep. I was a really crazy Jesus freak, Christian, whatever you want to call it, believed in the whole thing, and then I grew up and I just learned on my own, you know. I kept thinking, hey, this doesn't make sense. So, but when I was a Christian, I felt really constricted, like I want to do this, and I want to experience this, and I want to live my life. But then I was thinking, well, I can't do that because God is going to be sad with me. So I was basically torturing myself for something that might not even be there. I know there's a lot more in here somewhere. I should have come more prepared. I should have marked my pages or something. This video is a little bit random, I'm sorry. I'm probably not making much sense, but while I'm looking for something, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, that I don't really have a religion. I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual, I'm not even a Levian Satanist, I'm nothing. I'm not even agnostic. I'm just kind of, I'm here. And the reason I say I'm not agnostic is because even though I believe that we can't really know something like that, I find myself leaning towards Levian Satanism and Wiccanism, or Wiccism. I'm not sure how to say that, I'm sorry. But I really like those two things. I think that they're really interesting. This because it's like making yourself happy and living your life the way you want. And the other is because it's so natural and earthy and just really peaceful and nice, and I really like it. But I wouldn't call myself a Wiccan or a Levian Satanist or anything like that. I'm just kind of right here. Don't have anything. Anyone who thinks of Satan as evil should consider all the men, women, children, and animals who have died because it was God's will. Certainly a person grieving the untimely loss of a loved one would much rather have their loved one with them than in God's hands. Instead, they are consoled by their clergyman who says, "It was God's will, my dear," or "He is in God's hands now, my son." Such phrases have been a convenient way for religionists to condone or excuse the mercilessness of God. But if God is in complete control and as kind as He is supposed to be, why does He allow these things to happen? Too long have religionists been falling back on their Bibles and rule books to prove or disprove, justify, condemn, or interpret. Yep, which also brings me to another thing. People blame Lucifer, Satan, the devil for bad things that happen, but they also say God created everything and He's all-knowing and all-powerful and all-loving, or something along those lines, right? Right. So if God is all-knowing and if He created everything, then He created Lucifer and He knew that he was going to fuck up the world and make it the way it is now. Which means that He's not all-loving because He doesn't give a shit to fix it. He just kind of lets stuff go on, and now people are going to mention something about free will. And again, if God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving, then He would know and care enough to fix this shit. Because there are so many animals that get abused every single day, and so many human beings that get raped and murdered and die horrible deaths every single day. Everywhere. People starve to death. Little children starve to death. Animals starve to death every day. So, if there is a God, he can't be all-loving. Because if he is all-powerful, then he can fix this and make it to where everybody and everything is good, is happy. And he just doesn't give a shit to do that. So, either he doesn't exist, or he is not all-loving. And that actually kind of reminds me of Onision's videos. He's another YouTuber, a bigger YouTuber. He made a video quite a few years ago. I think it was called God is Retarded, and it was a really long video, but it was actually really interesting, and he made some pretty good points in there. If I can find the video, I'll post the link in the description so you guys can go check it out too. But if I can't find it, I don't know. And this video is probably really long, but there's one more thing I want to talk about. I just found it. Air conditioner again, I'm sorry. I actually thought this years ago before I even knew this book existed, which is pretty amazing. Do unto others as they do unto you. Because if you do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and they in turn treat you badly, it goes against human nature to continue to treat them with consideration. Which is pretty much like being a doormat. You know, it's like one of my family members. She is so insanely, ridiculously nice to everybody. No matter what somebody says or does to her, she just lays on the floor and becomes their doormat. Not literally, of course, but metaphorically. She just fucking lays down and lets people do what they want with her. Like she's a rag, a doormat, a towel, a fucking dirty sock, whatever you want to call it. She's used and abused, and she does not give a shit. She continues treating people nicely, even when they treat her badly. So those people think, hey, she's not going to do anything, I can continue making her feel awful. And I don't think that's right, because you're just, like, lowering yourself, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. You're making yourself feel bad, and you shouldn't. I mean, you should be happy, right? You should do what makes you happy. Obviously, you don't want to go and murder that person, but, you know, treat them the way that they treat you. Because I think that would work out better. It would, like, even everything out, and maybe that person would realize, hey, she's not gonna, you know, she's not fucking around. She's not gonna be a doormat. I should just leave her alone, or maybe I should treat her nicely. But a lot of people don't do that. And for anybody that wants to read this book, you can go to Amazon.com and look for The Satanic Bible by Anton Szandor LaVey. And I'm just going to give you guys a close-up of the book so you know what it looks like. It might take my camera a minute to focus, but this is what the book looks like. I'm going to make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. So that's what the book looks like. And the back of the book has Anton on it. So that's pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this video helped you, or made you, you know, open your eyes, or I hope it was at least entertaining or interesting. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, comment, all that good stuff, and go check out my main channel. I have more worked on videos. I actually put time into those videos and edit them and make them really nice, and these videos on this channel I do not care about. Like, I'm not going to edit anything out of this one because I don't care. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.